Okay, well, you can model your tree in a minute. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Hochmania. Wait, should we do like Hulk Hogan stuff, like Hochmania? No, Hochmania. Like Jillian goes, my daughter just goes, no, you shouldn't do that, Mom. My name is Diane Hochman. I'm here with the incredible Jeff Lanni, who lives where I grew up. You didn't grow up there though, Jeff, did you?
I did not, no.
Yes. So he did not grow up there, but I grew up there. And if we had both grown up at the same time, maybe we would have seen each other at the mall or some such thing.
That would have been awesome.
We could have gone to, well, back in the day. How long have you lived there?
You could have gave me a flyer.
Yeah, I know. Well, no, that was Connecticut. I littered Connecticut. I did not litter Poughkeepsie, New York or Fishkill, New York. What year did you move to the area?
1998.
Okay, so I was long gone by then because I had already grown up and, was married and all that other stuff. But back when I was a kid, what was it called? What was the mall?
South Hills?
South Hills, right? South Hills Mall was the place. I lived there pre-Galleria.
Wow.
I mean, that's because I'm very, very old. Just want you all to know.
You're dating yourself.
I'm very, very old. Yeah, back in the 80s. So before we start, Jillian wants to come over and model her Christmas tree. So there she is modeling the Christmas tree. Ta-da! She worked very hard on her poses. And yes, they are giving you a round of applause. And Justin Barkley says, nice work. Rancy, you might have seen my lose weight now or work from home flyers many moons ago. Every once in a while, I keep finding batches of them still. So one of these days, I'll show you all my work from home, part-time, full-time flyers. Did you do anything crazy in your marketing career, Jeff? What's the most crazy thing you did or embarrassing thing?
Back in the day of the Don Lepre infomercial.
Oh, yes.
Do you remember him? I think he ended up killing himself.
Yes, he did, unfortunately.
Unfortunately is right. So I did have several 900 numbers. None of the dirty ones. None of the dirty ones. Most of them were like horoscope things, stuff like that. Sports scores. This was all before the internet, so you had to do something.
Did you make any money on them?
Of course not, because what I did was I went around and I stuck stickers on payphones. So
telling people to call a 900 number. That didn't make any sense. Don't they have to be on their own phone at home?
Listen, I didn't say I was good. You asked me what my most embarrassing moment was.
See, at least I was smart. I would put them in the bathroom stall so that while they were sitting, because it was girls, while they were sitting, they had to read my ad. They had no choice to read my ad. They might not take it, but I did have a captive audience, which is very important. And there's Ed Zimbardi right now, and he's from NYC, well, from Long Island, which is close enough. So he's from my other home, because I grew up in New York, and then I moved to the exciting East Fishkill area that Jeff lives in. So, Jeff, we have a topic, but I have so much gossip and news and things to talk about. But our topic tonight is to tech or not to tech. That is the question. And it's really about how technical should you get in your home business. Now, the reason I have Jeff on tonight is because Jeff is like a whiz bang. Like he's just like smarty pants with this stuff. And I am, Jillian goes, not. You know what? I get done what I have to get done. I just choose to keep it as simple as possible. So there's Hochmania. There we go right now. So Hulk, see, that was me, WWF, man. Talk about back in the day. Talk about, Rowdy Roddy Piper. Talk about, come on, George the Animal Steel. We're talking classic wrestlers. Randy.
One of my favorites.
What was his name? Who's the Slim Jim guy? Randy Savage, right?
Savage.
Yeah. And then Ric Flair. Come on. Anybody else wrestling people? Back in the day.
You left out Andre the Giant.
Andre the Giant is very important. Very important. Who was the guy that wore rubber bands? He was a manager or something. He wore rubber bands in his beard.
He was from Carmel, New York, and he was Captain Lou Albano.
That's it, Captain Lou Albano. Are you impressed with my Friday night wrestling?
The Grand Union.
You should at the Grand Union. They have Grand Unions anymore? I don't know. I heard
No.
A&P's going out of business now. So we're going to be
They
left
just
with.
closed 2 of them down here.
Yep. Okay. The party's over. So Poughkeepsie and Fishkill area is changing. The times they are changing. So before we get into the to tech or not to tech and talking about some of that stuff, because I'm for technology. You guys will be surprised at my stance on all of this. Some of you guys may think I'm like, no, don't use technology. I'm all for it. I'm here today because of it, thank God. I spent the week on a cruise. I'm the only weirdo on earth that went on a cruise by themselves. I had a huge suite. It was swank. It was Jeff. This is nice. Have you ever been on a cruise? I
have, but I saw you had stairs in your cabin.
Yeah, I had stairs in my cabin. Enough said, right? It was nice. I got a really good deal though. I have to admit, I paid $400 for it, but that's a story for another day. I'll do a whole seminar on how to get things for free. So it was really swank, but I'm working on a book. Notice that my book is not done, unfortunately, but it's come pretty far. So had a very nice week, but it was kind of a weird week because I was in my cabin a lot. I wasn't out doing the normal stuff. I wasn't out doing the shows and the this and that. My cabin attendant thought I was crazy. In fact, I'm sure he thought I was crazy because it made him super nervous that I did not leave my cabin. And I had to soothe him every day because he wanted to change my towels and stuff. And I told him, it's okay. You don't have to change my towels. So anyway, get back into Fort Lauderdale last day. And some of you guys read, I wrote a letter about this yesterday, but I need to convey this in person. Go to get off the ship, and I get to where they scan your little card, saying that you're leaving the ship, and the guy goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, you've been picked for a random security check. You can't leave the ship. You got to go back and talk to the security officer." So I'm like, okay. And so I'm thinking maybe they just flagged me because it was weird. I was traveling alone in a big suite or something. Usually a suite like mine would have at least 4 or 5 people in it. So maybe it just looked weird, whatever. So I get there and the lady goes, I need your passport and I need your form, your immigration form or whatever it's called. And I have to sit there for half an hour waiting for her to be done, collecting a couple other people. Then she walks us through and we have to go get our bags and all this other stuff. And they put us in this room and you couldn't get out, Jeff. Okay. You walked in and you couldn't open the door to get back out. And there were cameras.
So you weren't by yourself?
I was by myself. Well,
okay.
The officer checked us and asked us a couple questions. And then she took our passports and took our forms. And she brought us down to the room for the Homeland Security or whatever they're called, the TSA.
Yeah.
And you go in the room and you walk through the door, but then you can't go out the door. They have your passport and you're in a room with a bunch of people. And you come to find out that the people that are sitting there have all been sitting there for at least an hour or more.
Oh my God.
So I'm like,
I was going to say, were you sure you're in Fort Lauderdale? Maybe you were in Cuba.
No, I was in Fort Lauderdale in a room that you couldn't leave from. Now, there was no, and sorry to be graphic, but it's my show and I'll do what I want. There was no pee-pee room in the area, just saying. Although it turns out there was one on the other side of the other door. And you're in there with a bunch of people that are getting cranky. And as the time ticks by, because it's already been an hour, because by the time they got me down there and this and that, and I waited like a half an hour and I see these other guys and I asked them how long they've been waiting. They've been waiting an hour and a half. I realized I ain't going to make my flight. So I call United Airlines and luckily I'm a frequent flyer. So they changed my flight, no problem. But now I find out that instead of getting home, at like 7:00 at night, I'm going to get home at 1:00 in the morning and I'm cranky about that. So I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting. And finally they call my name. I get all my bags and I go into the other room where there was this, desk and this lady there to interrogate me. And I need to go to the bathroom. I'm sorry. I'm just being like I've been sitting in this room for hours. I left the ship like 3 hours ago. So I'm like, hi, doing a little dance. Sorry, Jeff. She asked me, like they had already asked me, are you traveling alone? Yes. Did you room with anybody? No. Did you buy any alcohol, cigarettes, or any alcohol or tobacco? No. Did you buy anything? No, which I didn't. I barely left the ship. I didn't buy anything, literally nothing, which is weird too. So then she goes to me, why do you have your bags? And
What?
I go, excuse me, I don't understand the question. She goes, why do you have your bags? And again, I said, excuse me. She goes, your bags, they're right there. Why do you have them? And I'm like, the lady told me to pick up my bags. I thought she meant like, why do you have them? You shouldn't have picked them up yet or whatever. I said, the officer that walked us down told me to pick up my bags. I had signed up for, they have some program where you can have the bags sent directly to the airport so you don't have to drag them.
Right.
And the concierge called me and said it didn't go through. I guess my confirmation number, whatever, it didn't go through. So he said, so it didn't go through. No worries. Just, bring your bags like normal. Sorry about that. And I also got a letter to my stateroom saying it didn't go through. Pick up your bags like you normally would. I'm like, okay, no big deal. They flagged me because they thought my bags were supposed to go to the airport, but they didn't or something. So it was their mistake, Royal Caribbean's mistake. So I'm sitting here for 3 hours.
Wow.
To have this lady look at me and go, oh, they made a mistake. And I said, well, I think that you need to check my luggage for good measure. And I said this jokingly. I'm getting smarty pants with the TSA now, which is probably not smart. And I said, well, don't you think we should at least check my bags for the camera? And she goes, yeah, okay, let's open it. And really what I wanted her to do, can I just be really disgustingly graphic?
Of course.
Of course.
Your laundry
as he looks down, he's like, oh my God. I knew that all my dirty laundry was in one particular bag. And I knew that it was like a week's worth of like going to the beach and sweating type of stuff. I wanted her to get just a whiff of that bag. I just wanted her to open it up and have like all my shoes and stuff in it. And I just wanted it. And I figure she does it every day. But if you're going to keep me for 3 hours, you're going to smell my sweat. So anyway, get back to the airport.
I'm happy that she didn't call TSA at the airport and you didn't get frisked when you were there too.
No, I was hoping to get frisked by, somebody, but it didn't happen. I was alone all week, Jeff. I needed a little frisking. So anyway, poor Jeff.
You should have kept some metal on when you went through the detector.
I know. And then they give you like some nice woman named Bertha. I'm going to have to pat you down. So anyway, Jillian's like, oh my God, please stop. This is a gossip and business show, and this is business because let's face it, lifestyle, getting to go on a cruise in a big suite and all this other stuff, it's like a dream come true, really, to be able to just go. It's really neat. Justin's putting up funny frisking. So I get over to Fort Lauderdale Airport finally, walk into the United Club, and it's a very small little United Club, the airport club, and there's only 2 seats available in the whole thing. And I asked if they're taken, if I could have a seat. And I end up talking to this incredible World War II veteran. And now we're celebrating, well, not celebrating, but remembering Pearl Harbor this week and everything. So I just couldn't help but talk to him. And turns out that they had a lot of time because he had a walker and his wife had a wheelchair. So they were there for quite a while. And he told me just incredible stories. And he had me crying at one point, not because he was telling me graphic stories or anything, but it was just the way he talked about the day the war ended and what people were like and all this other stuff. And I thought to myself, everything happens. There is a point to the underwear story, guys. Everything happens for a reason. And very often when we think something bad is happening to us, something really good is happening to us. Because besides being a World War II veteran, he was an executive and had a huge amount of business experience from the aerospace. And he was also an author who has written 2 books. So he was able to, I told him what I was doing, and he was really able to share a lot of cool stuff with me. And so I just know that the universe placed me there for a reason. And even if I did have to spend 5 hours in Newark Airport again, it's not 5 hours in Newark Airport. It's just, I've done 9 hours in Newark Airport before. So
it would have been faster for you to drive home from there.
Well, I almost thought about asking Larry to drive down, but it's far from your house. It's a lot closer. From my house, it's 2.5 to 3 hours. You know, you just shoot right down, cross the river and shoot down. But for us, it's long. And so in any case, that's my exciting story. People are probably leaving by now. Exciting story from my week. I have no idea what went on in the industry because I usually like to gossip about what's going on in the industry. I have no idea what went on because I tried to not listen all week. Did anything exciting happen? And then I didn't know, unfortunately, and I felt really terrible. I didn't know about the shooting in California because I was on the boat and didn't really realize what was going on. Jillian mentioned it. So that was kind of terrible. Anything going on in the industry, Jeff, or any gossip? Even in our own group? Anything about Barkley that you should tell me that I should know about, or Amber Lee, or, you know, I see Sue Michaud's here. I mean, she's you know, gossip worthy.
I think Amber has made her move to Georgia.
She did?
I saw her there.
Wait a minute.
I saw her there. Maybe she's just on vacation or something.
Visiting. Okay, well, if
she had
that's
her
the
son with
case,
her.
because she messaged me today and she did not say anything about that. So if that's the case, that would be interesting. Heath
But I think
Labox,
everybody is.
and that's a Navy man. The guy that I met was a Navy guy. You know, I forget what ship he was on, and he was a fighter pilot. You know, but he was on a carrier, a fighter pilot. So it's pretty cool. So Navy men and women. So all right, should we get to our topic?
Sure. Let's do it.
What do you think? To tech or not to tech? What do you think? What's your opinion?
I think if you're not taking advantage of all of the advances for business, whether it be new processes that are face-to-face and different ways of interacting with people, or using the technology, then you're missing out. You're leaving, you know, for what they say, you're leaving money on the table.
Big time.
And I just think I don't think it's the technology. I think it's like everything else in this business. If you go out there and you talk to somebody, you say, "What's the biggest problem you're having?" And they're afraid. I'm afraid. I don't want to go talk to people. I have this fear. And when you bring technology into it, I think it's the same exact roadblock. It's not that they can't do it, but they're afraid they're going to break something.
Before we go any further, Jeff, what's your Facebook? Facebook.com/what?
That's a great question.
Okay,
my fan page is the Jeff Lanni.
The Jeff Lanni. Put it in the chat, because you guys, once they hear him talk, they're going to want to connect with him. But maybe give them your profile too, because that way they can friend you up. And if you send Jeff a friend request, make sure you tell him you saw him on Hochmania so he knows you're okay. I want you guys to write down a word. Okay, I want you guys to write down a word. The word is leverage. Okay, as long as people have had home and small businesses, and when I say home business, I'm talking about network marketing, any kind of stuff you're doing it from home. The big secret has always been leverage. Okay, it's getting exposure to more people, having more people know what you do, having more people hear your message. So to me, these things that they're putting up, or you put that one up, you're throwing a computer across the table. I don't know where you guys have to teach me about these things. I don't understand them. I'm afraid of them, Jeff.
We're going to do a tutorial one day. You know, it's funny because when I look at all that stuff, emojis and all this other stuff, like I never use emojis. I never use them. The little stickers and stuff like that. And I probably should, because people love them. But I just always look at it as it doesn't give me more leverage. It's cute. It's fun. It's great. But I'm not looking to entertain myself. I'm looking to get leverage. So leverage has always been the key, whether it was in network marketing that you were utilizing the people on your team to get leverage, to get to more people. You were building in depth through the leverage of other people. Or whether today we have the leverage of blogs, we have the leverage of video, we have the leverage of Blab that we're using right now. We have the leverage of posting content, syndication, podcasts, Facebook, etc. So the technology
in my opinion, the question you always ask yourself is, does this technology give me more leverage or not? And would learning this piece of technology get me more exposure? If it would, then it's worth learning. If it's catching me up in stuff and keeping me from progressing and making presentations and getting people in front of my offer, or if I'm making believe that doing the technology work is going to be my solution. Back in the day, we used to reorganize our desk. Jeff, we'd be like, well, what are you doing today? Well, I'm getting organized. I'm going to reorganize everything. It's January 1st. I need to reorganize my desk. I'm going to get a new date book and I'm going to prepare it and I'm going to buy a new Rolodex. You were reorganizing your desk. Today, so we now have the information that Amber has not moved to Georgia yet.
She must have been visiting.
Yet. Atlanta's so convenient to get to. It's easier than Louisville, or however you say it right. Louisville. Yeah, I can't say it right. So it's like New Orleans, and people make funny if you say it that way. So the technology, I know, Ed. I was just thinking about you, Ed saying Atlanta, Georgia is a great place. Just saying. I think Atlanta is super cool. Super cool. So the question becomes: am I hiding in technology, or am I accessing technology? Am I hiding in minutia? And I always used to joke when I moved. Now I'm going to really show you how old I am, Jeff. You're going to be impressed. Back when I moved from MySpace to Facebook, okay, on MySpace you could make your profile like purple and sparkly, and it could have like animated things like you guys do, and you could put all these cool things on your MySpace. And Facebook back then was blue and white. Yep. That was it. There was no pictures back then. There were no pictures. Grammatically correct. There were no pictures. There was no video, no graphics, none of the stuff that we have today. It was blue and white. And I said, I'm leaving. I'm going to Facebook. And everybody was like, why in the world would you go to that ugly site that's only blue and white when you can have purple and sparkly or whatever you wanted? You could put music on your MySpace. You'd get people get to your page and you'd have like a slow groove or a disco mix or heavy metal. Phoenicia. So, you could do all these cool things, and people were very busy amusing themselves with, they'd call it pimping out your MySpace, right? Pimping out. I say that all the time, Jeff. I'm pimping it out. Pimping out. Yo, I had my hoodie on, but I took it off. So when I moved to Facebook, everybody was like, well, why are you doing that? And I said, because there's more leverage here. And today we know Facebook inherently understood the way people move and think. It just, they understood, because Facebook was built for scoping chicks. It was built for picking up chicks. So they understood the social aspect of how a guy would check out chicks or how a girl would check out dudes. So it was clear to me early on that the leverage on Facebook would be much bigger. Today we know it is. And it's interesting to look at the different mediums and how it's your Twitter name, Marin, just sidebar. Marin, when you log in through your Twitter, whatever your Twitter is what your thing is coming up. And Marin, I want to tell you later, that piece you put up today freaked me out. We'll talk about that. I love that piece. So today when we look at blogging, a lot of us in this community, Jeff's like just really great with setting up blogs, and a lot of us, in my circle are working with blogs right now. I've had a blog for years, but we're all working on different things. You're not bothering me, Marin. You're good to go. Whether we're looking at YouTube, whether we're looking at, everybody talks about going viral. How do you go viral? Because that's the leverage. How do you get in front of more people? I always said, if you write a blog post in the woods and nobody sees it, you know that old saying, if a tree falls down in the woods and nobody hears it, did it really fall at all? Well, if you write a blog post and nobody reads it, did you really write it at all? If you put, so that's the big secret. It's not about souping something up more. which I always see people get very excited. In fact, right now, a lot of people are doing trainings on how to do better graphics or how to do better this or how to look better. And me, I'm the old curmudgeon that said, that's great. Did you make any money today? Because how many times you heard me say that, Jeff? That's all I ever say. I'm like a broken
All the time.
record. It's awesome. Did you make any money today? It's awesome. Did you make a sale today? That's really beautiful. So how many leads did you get today? Did you make any sales today? So technology, I think, is critical. I wouldn't be in the position I'm in today if the technology hadn't changed, because video killed the radio star. Video launched my career. Like, I had a business before, but video launched my career, because when people could see me and feel me, that's when things changed for me. Right. So there's always going to be new windows. And yes, I want my MTV. Randy, we're showing our age now. Randy's being old with me. I like it. Anybody else want to be old with me? I'm pre-planning for my impending birthday, months away. But so I love technology. I love anything that lets people hear my message. Because really, when it boils down to it, that's what attraction marketing is. It's people hearing your message and going, I dig it. I dig it. I dig it. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, you just can't let the technology stop you from doing the things that you're supposed to be doing.
And that's what I was just going to come to. Yep.
Thinking that the technology, I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do this. But in the meantime, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing to generate any money.
Yeah. So I want to talk to you, Jeff, because you're so good at this. I want to talk about what technologies, what things that are out there do we really think are very valuable to learn? What's worth spending the time on? We'll make kind of a list for everybody. And then what do we think is a time waster? Or perhaps not as fruitful as some other things. What do you see out there? Name a couple, I'll name a couple. What do you see out there that you think is really worth investing time into?
I think the number one thing people need to get their heads wrapped around and incorporate into their business is an autoresponder.
100%. Number one.
I mean, why? I think because your list is your business. You collect that inventory of people, and you basically set yourself up now with a captive audience. And you're not there to sell them every day, but you're there to communicate with them so that when it comes time to help them or sell something, they're going to know you. They're going to trust you. You're not selling it out to a cold market anymore, because you've now taken maybe people who are a cold market and made them your warm market by bringing them into this autoresponder, this email list, and then communicating with them.
Yeah. I always tell people that if tomorrow their budget to run their business went down to next to nothing. Hi, Mark. That the one thing they need that they can't live without is an autoresponder. Autoresponder is just absolutely an incredibly critical piece of technology, which is not new. It's been around for a long time. Mark, how many profiles do you have on Twitter? Because I never know. He could be the sausage queen. I'm just saying. Yeah, but like for those of you that were here back in the day, 12 profiles. Okay, so or the answer is a lot, as he says. So autoresponder, number one. I can barely manage one profile. So I'm always impressed when people have like 12. Rob Ford has like 72 blogs and all this other stuff. It always freaks me out.
I'm right there with you. See, I know technology, but I can't manage more than one profile.
I'm like, it's funny because I'm ADHD, so you'd think I'd be good at doing all of them, but I'm not. I'm just one voice. But Mark does some really cool stuff with Twitter. So I'm not. Mark knows, and everybody who doesn't know that, know Mark well. Mark is just a master at, orchestrating some really cool stuff. with Twitter. So autoresponder. And for any of you guys that have not gotten an autoresponder and a paid quality autoresponder, okay, not some crummy little one you got for free or something like that, paid quality autoresponder that's been around for a long time, that has good customer support. If you haven't set it up, you should make that your first priority. Okay. And guys, just so you guys know, I'm not taking, on Hochmania, it's me and Jeff. It's me and my co-host. Every week is a different co-host. So if you guys are asking to speak, I'm not being mean. It's just that this isn't a chatty thing. It's more of a suck up to Jeff thing, because he's so awesome and he's going to help me with some stuff. So yes, Jeff, by the way, are you going to, do we decide, are you coming to Connecticut that weekend? Because we're open for it. You definitely are. Okay, cool. Yep. Jeff's coming to Happy Land. Happy Land is just that, happy. So autoresponder, 100%. We both agree and concur. Justin is asking, and I'll throw it to you, Jeff, what should you look for in an autoresponder?
I don't know if this goes to his question exactly, but you had mentioned something when you were rattling off things that you look for, as opposed to a cheap one getting a quality one. And you said customer service. And that goes for any technology. And when I go to buy something, there's so many different options out there today that when I go to buy something, I'm not always going to buy the cheapest one, even if it's the same model. If Best Buy has it or this other electronics store has it that I've never bought anything from, and they're cheaper, but it's the same product, I'll pay more and I'll go to Best Buy. And it's because I need to know that if I have a problem with this, I want to know that there's going to be credible, high integrity people to support me with whatever that problem is.
Yeah. Support, especially if you're not a technical person, support is everything. Support is more valuable than anything else.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I like that answer. There's several good ones out there. I mean, there's Aweber, there's GetResponse, there's different ones out there. I've used Aweber for years. I like that they have a live chat and I can get a human being that, and no offense to anybody, but I'm just going to say that speaks English well, in the chat, that I can, and so a lot of times I have a question, I'll check the FAQs, but if I'm stuck, I can get a person that can answer my question in the next minute. And there are a lot of,
they know what they're talking about.
Exactly. And they also understand, like when you're communicating with them, they can understand whether you're more experienced or not, because like when I write in, I've been using the product for years, so I'm very familiar. So I kind of write it in such a way that they know I'm familiar with the product, so we don't have to go back to, you ever call your internet company, Jeff, because you're having an internet problem? They go, okay, well, first thing you want to do is restart your modem. And it's like, no, I've restarted it 12 times. I already know how to do all of this. I've been doing this for 15 years. And they're like, well, ma'am, I understand, but I think we should start from the beginning and restart your modem, and is your computer plugged in? And I'm like, oh my God. And it's like 20 minutes to get to the, where So, good support that can understand the level that they're dealing with. You want somebody that can deal with a very beginner if you're a beginner. But if you're more advanced, like somebody like you, Jeff, it has to drive you crazy if you're talking to somebody that's talking to you like it's your first day. Has to drive.
It does. It does. It drives me bananas. But at the same, because I'm in that field, I know they're working off a script.
Right.
And to this day, I still don't know how to get them to skip chapters.
No, they won't skip the That's it. That's it. And I'm like, really, can we go to step number 7? Where it makes me crazy. And Aweber, and again, I can't speak to GetResponse and some of the other companies, but they don't do that. They kind of get a gauge of where you are. They do have to, make sure you come from the beginning. But a lot of times the question is, this and this is going on. I saw you guys change the editor. This, you can have a normal conversation with them. They're very helpful. And they'll back you down if they feel like you're jumping ahead. But I find them really to be very good. Same thing, when I'm looking for computer support or anything like that, if I've been infected and I have a virus, well, I've had a computer for many years. I've had this issue come up. So I understand what crap cleaner is and all the, I understand all these different things. I know how to go on a forum and look up different ways to get rid of this particular virus. So then when I talk to support, I want to be able to tell them I did this, and this. Where would you go from here? So autoresponder, number one, we both agree. So that's interesting, Jeff, because that's the first place that you went. What would you go next?
From a technology perspective, I mean, this is going to sound crazy, but I really don't have that many. The next thing I have now is my blog.
Right on.
I have my web real estate.
Yep. So your place on the net, your central location, your hub, where you can publish and you can link to things and have your content and so on. You can use social media, guys, for sure, to publish different things, but you don't own that. They can cancel your account. We see people all the time, their accounts and different things get shut down. Nobody can really take your blog away. There are different things that can happen to your blog, but you can get fixed. But I think, back in the day, I used to poo-poo the necessity for a blog, but now it's become very simple through different interfaces. You can ask Jeff. There's a lot more simplicity now, where before you really had to know what you were doing to install a WordPress blog. I even used Blogger back at the beginning. When WordPress became accessible for people like me, I just exported my Blogger over to WordPress. So definitely, absolutely. I would add, after a blog, I would make sure that I know how to create video, whether on camera or screenshot through, software. You need to be using multimedia today, video and audio. Very important. A lot of people are still afraid of video. It's just, here's video. I do this all the time and people get irritated at me, but I'll do it again because this is video. You turn on your phone, you put on the camera, and then you hit the button that looks like a video camera. And you go, hey guys, it's Diane Hochman, and I'm here live on a blab with Jeff Lanni, and we're talking about to tech or not to tech. That is the question. If you missed the blab, you can catch the replay over at dianehochman.com. Come on over and leave us a comment and let us know what you think. That was video. And now I can hit 2 buttons and it's on YouTube. It's not exactly difficult anymore. Before, you used to have to record it on a camera and you had to have a wire to connect it to the camera, and this format didn't work with that format, and your computer wouldn't accept the video from that camera, and yada, 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 yada. Justin, I'm ignoring your question because on Hochmania, he's asking about where would you suggest to go to set up a blog. This is like a generic show, so you guys go to the people that you work with that that have a successful blog. Ask them. If you want to reach out to Jeff, that's why I want to make sure you guys all see his Twitter handles at Jeff Lanni. Go to people that you know and you trust that have a little bit of experience. There's a lot of options out there. There's also a lot of people that will overcharge you. I've seen that. I used to call it the magic blog, Jeff. You'd go to a seminar and they'd sell you a $2,000 magic blog. This was back in the day because nobody knew how to build one because it was so hard back then. So it was the magic blog that never got delivered. So anybody can do it. It's completely accessible now. You don't have to get it right. You just have to get it going. But, for the show's sake, because I'm hoping that this show goes on for a long time. Not hoping, I know it will. And I want people to watch this. You could watch this 3 years from now, and I promise you an autoresponder will still be #1 pick. I'm pretty sure that blogging will still be the #2 pick. Blog will still be the #2 pick. And I'm pretty sure that learning video and audio and how to communicate and use it online would be the #3 pick. I don't foresee that changing. Do you, Jeff?
No, not at all. I think, if anything, it's going to get more and more advanced. Yep. Because right now, if you think about it, a blog today is a mix. It's not just words anymore. Yep. But I mean, look at Ray. Ray's blog is mostly videos.
Yeah,
and I
Ray
did and I did a blog this past week on how to add the video directly onto your blog. And it's because, like you said, people want to connect with you. So doing a video blog, or I guess they call it a vlog or whatever you want to call it, it's becoming, or it is already, I feel, the way to go. So I had a little picture in there that said, video killed the blogger or something. So I edited a photo and said the video killed the blogger or something like that.
And the reason why, so we're not talking about platforms. I mean, I did happen to mention Aweber, but they've been around for 10 years. So, I mentioned WordPress, but I don't want to mention, where to go, simply because that could easily change versus what to look for, what to use in autoresponder, blogging, and video. YouTube has changed tremendously since when I started, but YouTube is still, huge. Facebook has just added live streaming on Facebook. So there's all kinds of new things that Facebook's coming out with. We've moved into things like Instagram and Snapchat, and there's always going to be new platforms and mediums. But the bottom line is, you need a way to mass communicate, which is your autoresponder. You need a hub where people always know where to find you. That's your blog. And you need to master communication methods, which would be video and audio and writing. But those three things are never going to change.
Totally
and
agree.
A blog can be simple, or it could get really snazzy, but the main thing is, if you're not generating leads and directing people to where you want them to go and building relationship through the blog, it doesn't matter if it's purple and sparkly or rainbows and unicorns on it or whatever you want to put. None of that matters if people aren't connecting to you, commenting. You're building a community on your blog. They need to be commenting. They need to be replying. They need to be opting in, putting in their name and email, and they need to be reaching out to you. That's how you start to generate people to talk to about whatever it is you're offering. That will never be, it's not going to change. There may be some new, virtual reality blog later, whatever the internet real estate is, that may change, but the concept's never going to change. And that's what we always look for is, Heath says, hi, dear. Oh no, this person's saying hi, dear, to Heath. Okay, now I'm getting nervous here. So the sausage queen is going to come back, Chef. She's going to come back. I know it.
It's a guy.
Oh, it's a guy saying hi, dear. Well, Heath is cute. So
no. The sausage queen is a guy.
I think it is. I do think it is. But
I've seen him.
You've seen the sausage queen?
Oh yeah, I've been on Blabs where he's been on camera.
Oh,
he's from Brooklyn.
He's from Brooklyn. Well, of course that explains it because I'm from Brooklyn. He probably lived down the block. I thought it was Abe Froman, the Sausage King of Chicago. So okay. So, and Mark's putting us on his Periscope. Hey. So we're gonna wrap it up pretty soon. But autoresponder, blog, or that central location where people can find you. It's funny, when I was talking to Ed, who's here or was here, I don't know if he's still here, before, we were talking about email addresses, and we both still have the same email addresses. He is here for years. Okay, my blog, DianeHochman.com, has been sitting there since, I think, 2006. Okay, my email address is the same for however many years. The only reason why I ever changed email addresses is because the company that I used to have it with went out of business. But if I had AOL, it would still be AOL. But I wasn't an AOL girl. I was Prodigy. I was like funky that way.
Oh my God. See,
I know. Right?
It keeps coming out of the woodwork. I was a Prodigy boy.
You were? See, we were cool. I never did AOL. I don't know why. I don't know what it was. I got 70,000 of those discs in the mail and in the newspaper and everything else, but I never put one in my computer. Netscape, yes, Ed, pre-Google. Back from the pre-Google days. We were cool. And Alta Vista, come on. Now we're really getting,
way back in the day.
Everybody's getting old.
When
here,
when the internet first came about,
Ask
and
Jeeves.
you could buy bandwidth.
I know.
Me
right?
and two of my friends started a internet service provider.
Did you?
So we had our own ISP in Westchester County, and we sat around the table for a night trying to think of a name, and we came up with FAOL.com.
FAOL. How old were you?
And we thought 25, 20,
You were naughty.
25, 26. And our acronym was Fresh Attitudes Online.
Until he got the cease and desist letter from AOL. They said they were coming to get you.
We thought about it, and I said, well, you know what they say. Publicity is publicity, whether it be bad or good. We can always change the name.
I know. I remember the first time we went, one of Larry's friends is an internet pioneer, and he had the original modem that you put the phone on, back with the wired phone thing and the whole deal. And I remember looking at it, and it was making all weird noises. And I was like, what the heck is this thing? I think we were still on TRS-80s or something. I don't know. But bottom line is, guys, I know, right? The technologies will always change. They'll get cooler. They're always going to get cooler. The way we, like this right here is just super cool. I mean, I feel like I'm sitting with Jeff. It's super cool, and it's always going to get cooler. But the idea of having a way to communicate, that people can subscribe and hear from you, a way to, and by the way, there's other ways. I mean, you could have a text list. There's other ways to be able to say something to a lot of people. But still, they'll say email marketing is dead. Well, I hate to break it to you, but I'm making an awful lot of money from being a good email marketer. I mean, people often ask, well, what is your specialty? I suppose it's email marketing, would be the thing that I do the most with, because I'm certainly not calling people up, and I'm certainly not out at the mall hanging up flyers anymore. I'm not prospecting. I'm just pushing people into that email list. So that will never change, those three concepts. So as we leave you, and Chris Kelly, by the way, was teaching his students some coding today. TRS-80, the first computer I learned, basic computer programming. Yes, we're about the same age, Chris. We were both I learned how to make a square, and then I learned how to make a parallelogram or whatever it was. It tilted. I had to make it, or rectangle. I made a rectangle, and then I had to tilt it so that it would be, it's not working well with my hands. It was very important. And then, Jillian, what was that computer program you guys had? Reader Rabbit or something? Or Jumpstart? Yes, Jumpstart first grade and all this other stuff was the coolest thing ever. Very cool. If you are spending too many hours a week on building things in your technology that's not yielding, I want you guys to really look at that, because I want you to, the thing I always teach people is, always think about, what is my outcome? Okay, what is the outcome that I want to have happen from this activity? So if we always ask ourselves before we start working for the day, like, what is the outcome of tonight's blab? The outcome is to build community, lay hands with everybody, hang out with Jeff, because Jeff's a smarty pants, and just have some fun. That's the outcome, and create content. That's what I'm doing here. I'm creating content that I can use over and over and over. If we look at when we're working on our blog, what's the outcome of the blog? And is this activity that I'm doing going to enhance the outcome? A lot of people get caught up on their autoresponder. Should they have a header on it? Should they have graphics? Should they have this? Well, the question is, will it enhance your outcome? If it will enhance your outcome, then yes. What is the outcome of, when I'm making video? What do I want? Is it a video to sell something? Is it a video to share content and invite to my list? Is it, what's the purpose? So if I'm taking a video that I cut and I'm editing it and it takes me 3 weeks to edit it, did all that time that I invested enhance the outcome? And for some people, the answer is yes, because if you're creating a video sales page or something that's going to be used over and over and over, and it takes you 3 weeks to perfect the right video sales letter, you know what? The answer could be yes. For most people, the answer is no, it didn't enhance the outcome. So I think that's really a good, Jeff, do you think that's a good rule of thumb with the technology when we're getting caught in it, to ask ourselves?
Yeah, I think it needs to be a balance of speed and, outcome.
Mm-hmm.
You're never going to be perfect, but if you need near perfection, that's one thing. But I think you need to balance that with how fast you get it out, or whatever it is that you're doing could be outdated before you ever get it published.
Yeah.
So I think that's important to keep in mind. If it takes you 3 weeks to do something, and after 3 weeks, what you're doing has no relevance anymore, then you missed your window.
Right. So kind of like, what's the half-life of the project? Because again, if you're building a blog that you're going to use for the next 10 years, does taking a month to build a blog that you're going to use for 10 years, is that a good investment? Of course it is. Is taking a month to create a video that's going to be good for a week or relevant for a week, is that a good time investment? No.
Right.
You know, etc. Mark is putting up in the chat, he's saying after autoresponder and blog, he uses a lot of automation tools. And Mark, maybe sometime you can come on, because we can have a debate, a great debate, I am sure.
I knew where that was going.
Well, no, I think it's good, because I guess we're just different personalities of marketers. Some marketers automate a lot, and other marketers don't automate a lot. So I'm of the don't automate a lot school, and Mark's of the automate a lot school. We both have significant results. So it's I love when you have discussions like that, because the debate is really strong, because both sides are right. Both sides are right, you know. Today I was on, do you know who Vince Reed is?
Yes.
Jeff, you know, who runs MITS. Vince is just awesome. I was on the phone with Vince. And it was funny because he was really like fervently, you know how sometimes I'll like try to beg you guys to do something that I know would make a difference. I'll just like push on you guys, trying to get you guys to do something. Vince was pushing on me today in a great way about traffic. And Vince was saying he knows what would happen if I implemented certain things. Well, first of all, he invited me to come out to his event, which I'll tell you guys about next time or whatever, because that'll be fun if anybody wants to come out to San Diego. And I probably will go out, and Higdon's going to be there. I think Finale's going to be there. So it'll be a good, you know, time to get together, not too big an event. But he was funny because he was like, Diane, if you just did this, it would make a difference for you. And he was so, what's the right word I want? You could tell he was speaking from his heart, you know, that he really and truly wanted. Yeah, genuine. He really and truly wanted to show something, because he said, I see what you can do, and I know what you can do. And if we did this, it would be a lever. It would give you that more leverage. So, and Vince, I trust explicitly. So, you know, we'll look into some of that stuff now, especially as I'm putting together, believe it or not, a little affiliate program, little something. Some of you guys know about it, but it's not ready yet. We won't talk about it. And the book and all these other things. So it's going to be a whole new world, because my child is leaving me, moving out, and I will be childless, and I will have a weepy Monday night Hochmania, and I need somebody who's got an empty nest to sit with me and rub my back or something like that. But all new projects coming up. It'll be super fun. And
you can adopt me if you want.
Well, you're not childless. Your son is like, you know, you got many years left with him. And Jillian says, just get a dog. So just get a dog. I'm going to get one of those frou-frou dogs that sits in my purse, you know, little, like, what was Bruiser from Legally Blonde. I'm going to get Bruiser. So, yeah, Marin, you might be the guest for that night. Marin Banta, who is a longtime network marketer, has worked with legends, is a legend in my book. Marin, you might be exactly my co-host for the night that my child leaves me. You might be the one I need. So we'll talk about it. So, and Randy's got it. So you guys know. And nice, Joe. Nice. So Jeff, guys, make sure you reach out to Jeff and connect up with him. He's just awesome. I know that while I was away, he was helping Larry with some smarty pants stuff. Larry seemed very excited about it, but I got home so late, we didn't get to talk so much about it. But technology is not your foe, it's your friend. Technology is worth sitting down and learning, especially certain things. It'll make a big difference. To automate or not to automate can be another discussion. I guess I come from old school, so I tend to not to. But then again, you know, I send out autoresponder letters, that's automation. So in any case, guys, I encourage you, whatever your goals are, figure out what is your outcome, what are you going for, which technologies would accent it, would enhance it, and then get with people that know what you need to know. It's worth investing some money, especially if you're somebody who, like me, I'm not good at sitting and watching tutorial videos and then executing. But if you give me somebody who knows how to do it and they walk me through, I have to do it myself. But if they walk me through, I can do anything very quickly. I just do better with a human than with a video. I like a walkthrough. You know, it's worth investing in that, you know, finding people that do that. We often have recommendations, or we know different people. If that's better for you, go get it. Spend the money. This is your business. This is your life. This is where you're going. So, absolutely. Jeff, when you come to Happy Land, we're going to just do cool stuff. Kind of looking forward to it. Maybe we'll tell Heath to come over and have a milkshake with us or something, because Heath lives right down the road. So does Sue. Maybe we'll see what your schedule is going to be like. We'll see. Maybe we'll have a meet and greet with Jeff.
Yeah, I would tell people, stop fearing technology, because we all use it. We all use it every day. I mean, you mentioned this once before. This is a full-blown computer.
Yes, it is. Big time.
And how many people had at one time said, I can't get one of those. I'd never be able to learn how to use it. They could only have that phone that they could flip open and dial. No, now everybody has one of these. Everybody can shoot video. Everybody can take pictures. Everybody can text. Everybody can play Flappy Bird and Candy Crush and all those other crappy games. And the other thing that I would say is, don't be afraid. Just get started. Just start. Don't worry about being perfect. My motto when I'm working on my stuff is fail fast. Fail fast. If I don't know how to do something, I don't let the technology slow me down. Like, I don't know everything, obviously, but I'll go out there and I'll try something.
Yep.
And then I'll fail. But at least now I know. And you can always reverse everything that you did. Worst case scenario, you have to start over. Big deal. How long is it going to take you to get through things that you've already done? It's not going to be that long, because now you know how to do them. So, you know, again, one of my things is fail fast.
Jeff, I just freaked out. I was doing some math on my calculator. The World War II veteran that I met yesterday. Yeah, I'm guessing, based upon the years that he served in the Navy, he's 92. And guess what? He had a smartphone and said he couldn't live without it, and never understood any of his friends. And he said most of his friends are, you know, up in heaven. He said that he couldn't understand how, and he said this to me very, very strongly. He couldn't understand why somebody wouldn't want this. That in his lifetime, and we were talking about how it had to be like a miracle to go from, you know, the 40s. He was born in I'm guessing he was born in 1924 if he was 18 when he got in, right? So think about it. Think about if he was 18 in 1942. This was a dream. I don't think they even imagined this, even in sci-fi in the 50s and 60s. So, and here's a guy at 92 that's out traveling around, writing books, doing what he loves to do, and, you know, using his smartphone. So if he can do it, we all can do it. And if you can use this, technology is pretty gosh darn easy and accessible.
Absolutely.
That's all we have to say about that. Guys, it's 10 o'clock. We went long, Jeff. We had so much to talk about. You are an excellent co-host. I think I might have to have you back sometime. You were off the hook. Awesome. Let's hear it for Jeff. Everybody give him some hands up, some props.
Love to be back.
Super awesome. If anybody else, I've just been rotating around different people. If you want to co-host sometime, give me a shout out. Suck up to me, you know, just, you know, whatever you got to do. So, and on that note, we're going to wrap it up. Thanks for being here for another Hochmania. Should we do Hochmania from Vegas?
Oh, probably in January?
Absolutely. No. I'll be in Vegas next Monday. It'll be 6 o'clock at night. So that'd be good. Yeah. We'll probably do a Hochmania from Vegas Monday night. So I'll let you know, and we'll show you our swanky suite because we're all about swanky suites lately. Jill and I will be cruising. We're going to go see Stephen and Lanacia and have a L5 celebration dinner. See some other people out there. We'll see Richie, and we'll see Charles Fuchs probably, and Greg Arnold. So if you're in Vegas or around Vegas, let me know. And everybody have an awesome night. Go to work and do something with your technology. Everybody take care. And yes,
Own
Britney
it.
Spears from my hotel room. You remember, Mark. I'm going to that same place. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for being here. Jeff, you're awesome. You're off the hook. And I'll be seeing you in a week or so. It'll be awesome.
It's going to be great.
See you